Hello, everybody. I'm doing a double record here. Hello, everybody. Okay, how to get that right. Hi, everybody. This is Chase Butticha. I am coming at you for this full moon in Aquarius, as well as this Lionsgate portal that's pretty powerful. It's pretty exciting. I need to talk about it. So, of course, I do it on the day, but whatever. It's the day. I'm going to send this out today. Check it out. But we're in a portal. So, the portal is July 26th to August 12th. So, it doesn't really matter. But the full moon on the day of the Lionsgate pretty much is pretty insane. So, we need to talk about it. For all of you that don't really know, Lionsgate is a portal that the ancient Egyptians, it's when Sirius was rising in the sky. Sirius the star, whatever they called it. Who knows what they called it? Why don't we know what they called it? And it aligned with the Orion's belt and the Great Pyramids and and the sun and Leo, all kind of creating I'm sure there was some measurement. But it's magic, and that star, Sirius, was the star of Isis. So she's dawning on the horizon, and when she would be dawning, that would indicate that the Nile would flood, and then it would bring that's the celebration because it would bring life and food and Isis to them was. She is the keeper of star knowledge, sacred healing, magic, and divine feminine sovereignty. So that star is the soul of Isis. So it's really, it's kind of funny because I was always into the Lionsgate. I've always been into it. I mean, recently, it hasn't really come online until recently as we've gotten deeper into Egyptian knowledge. But it's funny, this year I'm realizing it's actually like a holiday of Isis. It's actually an Isis's holiday. It's a celebration of magic. So Isis rules divine feminine sovereignty, magic, the priestess, the lineage of the priestess, healing. And she's my lady. I follow her. I'm part of her clan, her tribe, her lineage, I would say. I'm part of that lineage. So today, because people are like, today's a great day. So the portal is from July 26th to August 12th. Today's like the height of the portal. And then, it's also a day to, people are like, oh, it's a great day to, think about what you want to manifest for the next year because it's kind of like the veil is thin. It's thin because the energetics of that energy of Isis are starting to dawn on us. And so it's kind of creating this ability of so the veil being thin means that there's an easier contact, control, manipulation, working with the energies behind matter, starting to shape and form them to create the life that you want. So this morning, it's funny because I'm not into like traditional manifestation. I think it's cheesy. I don't like it. I think it's very American. Write down all the things you want and watch it manifest. Da, 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 da. That's not, for me, it's very much working with spirit, working with the divine, surrendering, creating and surrendering, working with my intuition, opening up to my potentiality, being in alignment with my higher self, not really just serving my egoic desires, serving my soul's desires. And when you're in that alignment and you're working with magic, man, is it powerful. This morning I just sat and kind of shaped, like clay, the energy I'm moving into, walking into. And I can tell you, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but it just feels really easy to do that at this moment. It feels permeable. It feels like you can shape your life like clay, if that makes sense. And that's the way it's supposed to be. That's how we're supposed to be here on planet Earth as humans. We're meant to be co-creating with the energy of of life, of creation, of the etheric, of the energy beyond matter. And we are made up of matter and spirit. And so opening to Isis and to opening up to this Lion's Gate is to opening up to the energy behind matter, which is what shapes and forms all materiality. So yeah, this is a great time to start to identify with your spirit, the thing that moves beyond the material, the part of you that is formless, shapeless, and that exists beyond all space and time. And understand that part of you is actually what creates all materiality, and to align with that energy. The more we align with that energy, the more we are in service of a higher frequency, the more we're in service of a higher potentiality that wants to come through. Because there is a flow. I mean, I talk about this all the time. I talk about it every time. But, the spiral of life is a constant, ever-evolving flow. And the flow moves through our intuition, and it's kind of always opening us up to higher potentialities, like a rose opens to the sun. And we are meant to do that as humans. We're meant to open to potentiality. And it's that process is non-linear, and it's really exists outside of governments and systems of control and human doing. It's very much connected to a much deeper, higher frequency and consciousness. If we allow it, and we tap that frequency, which is the realm of magic, the realm of Isis, we can begin to sync up with it and open up like the rose to the sun. Allow that potentiality to unfold. But it's very hard to do that when we are trying to strategize, control, and plan alongside governments and systems of control and institutions. It's very hard to be in tune with your wildness and your authentic, core, magical frequency when you have systems of control and power structures that dominate your freedom. So this holiday of Isis is really a holiday of opening to magic and the realm beyond systems of control, to divine feminine sovereignty, the divine feminine sovereignty inside of all of us that really is about receptivity. So the feminine principle, the highest feminine principle, is one of receptivity. And receptivity means you allow yourself to receive. You allow yourself to receive new information. You allow yourself to receive you allow yourself to receive. So, and if you allow yourself to receive, oh my God, this fly. There's a fly in here. How did this happen? Where did it even come from? When you allow yourself to receive, because that's really what receptivity is. It's you're syncing up with source. You're syncing up with the consciousness of source, this higher, expansive energy that's always evolving and expanding. And if you sync up with that and you allow it to expand through you, you will get new visions, new ideas, new direction, new guidance. That's what you receive. You're receiving God in some way. Honestly, that's kind of how it works. That's what receiving God is. So this Isis holiday that we're in right now, that's what it's all about. Okay? And so find some space and place to be quiet and to get into a receptive mindset. A great way is to simply sit somewhere, if you can, out in nature, or find an altar, a place in your space, a place in your house, outside, wherever. Put your palms, sit in a cross-legged position, or if you need to sit in a chair, whatever, put your palms up towards the sky. And you can establish the connection to source. I am blessed, protected, guided, and I am open to receive. I am one with divine source. I receive all guidance, all messaging. So that's one way to do it. Simple mantra, I am open to receive. Great way to be in alignment with divine feminine frequencies. So we have that today alongside the full moon in Aquarius. And this full moon in Aquarius is conjunct Pluto. I mean, when the moon is full, Pluto's going to be a little bit further, but currently it is conjunct Pluto and opposing Mercury. And Pluto's opposing Mercury. And so, which basically, I mean, you know, I've talked about Pluto. I talk about Pluto all the time. Pluto is the Lord of transformation, death, and rebirth in the sign of Aquarius, which is the future frequencies. I really think it's interesting that Isis, the holiday of Isis, is lining up with this full moon in Aquarius, because I really feel like the age of Aquarius is where Isis is able to come through again. Because I feel it in my bones. It's like the priestess is able to rise for the first time in like 10,000 years because of Aquarian energy. Because Aquarian energy embraces individualism, originality. It disconnects from large power structures. It's all about sovereignty. And so the feminine is not as suppressed as it has been for many, many, many millennia. There's just this opening. And it's also breaking down all these old structures of control that kept us all bound up and suppressed and not wild and domesticated and caged and like sick. And Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, is like liberating all that, but it's forcing a lot of us to have to confront ourselves in ways that we may not have had, that we may not have before, if that makes sense. So this full moon is no exception. No exception. This full moon's taking us to our depths. It's bringing out darkness and light. It's taking us to our shadows and revealing our power. It's a beautiful, beautiful full moon. The other thing that I think is kind of crazy. The other thing that I think is kind of crazy is that on this full moon, we have 4 planets, not 1, but 4 planets at 1 degree. And the 1 degree is the beginning. And we have Uranus we just went to 1 degree Gemini. Uranus is the planet of Aquarius. It's actually called the Great Awakener. It's taken 8 years for it to move through Taurus. It's just now entering Gemini. It's the Great Awakener. We have Uranus at 1 degree. We have Saturn and Neptune, both at the same exact degree of 1 degree at Aries. And we have Mars at 1 degree Libra. So the Mars is trining Uranus. Saturn, Neptune is trining Uranus. So there's strong Uranian energy on this full moon, that is a moon in Aquarius. Wow, this is so cool. There's so much ability to download information right now. Really. And also, so Mars is opposing Saturn conjunct Neptune, which I've talked, if you guys have heard my podcast and me talk about Saturn conjunct Neptune, but Saturn conjunct Neptune in Aries. I mean, Aries is the beginning of the zodiac. Neptune takes 180 something years to go around the zodiac. For it to be 1 degree Aries is huge. It's new vision. So 1 degree Aries is the beginning of the new Earth. That's opposing Mars right now. The Saturn conjunct Neptune is opposing Mars at 1 degree. I mean, this is like charging the energy of initiation, pioneering, exploration, pushing new energy forward. Like Saturn conjunct Neptune at 1 degree, even though they're both retrograde right now, doesn't matter. Like that is a Saturn conjunct Neptune. This is like the beginning of, it's like, so Saturn is materiality. It's putting things into, it's discipline, it's structure, it's order, it's discipline, it's karma. It's called the Lord of Karma. Conjunct, blending, exact as Neptune. Neptune is vision. Neptune has a lot to do with Isis. It's psychic awareness. It's etheric energy. It's moving beyond the material into the spiritual. So that's putting new vision, implementing new vision. With Mars opposing it, it's like Mars is like, go, let's move it. Mars is the planet of Aries. I mean, you can't make this shit up. You cannot make it up. And then you've got the other thing that's happening on this full moon, which colors everything and kind of is Venus conjunct Jupiter. We're by 4 degrees. Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. So Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. So Venus is the planet of the divine feminine. Jupiter is like the great beneficent, whatever it touches, it expands. So that's like this deep expansion of feminine energetics in the sign of Cancer, which is the mother. So that is like coloring. So it's the holiday of Isis, the celebration of Isis, the return of Isis, this opening to magic, opening to receptivity. All these planets at 1 degree, lots of Uranian energy, awakening energy, Aquarian energy, sovereign energy, Plutonic energy, transformation. And then we have Venus conjunct Jupiter, which is the feminine, just expanding that flowering. It's coloring it all. And it's funny, this Venus conjunct Jupiter, it's trining Lilith even. Lilith even has a beautiful aspect to it, which is, Lilith is the untamed wild feminine. There's a lot of really beautiful aspects on this. There's not a ton of squares. There's tons of trines. There's a few oppositions and tons of trines. It's beautiful. This is a beautiful time right now. It's funny. I woke up last night and I had this dream last night. I had a full body orgasm in my dream last night, but it was like an orgasm that went all over my body, all the way into my brain and my organs. And I woke up today and I just felt so amazing. And, it's interesting because that feminine activation and that receptivity, it's all about pleasure. So to receive is to be in pleasure. Pleasure and receptivity go hand in hand. Can't really have one without the other. So, yeah, this is an awakening of the feminine right now. This is an awakening of sovereignty, of feminine energetics, of a new timeline, a new earth. I have been, it's funny because this is who I am. Like, I embody this energy. And I'm at a time in my life right now where I'm like truly awakening to what the divine feminine really means. To be truly embodied. And so much of it is about receptivity and pleasure and allowing, and it's really about opening up more to love and the beauty and the goodness, and choosing that and understanding that if you choose that, you will be safe, you will be blessed, you will be protected, and you will be guided. We have been so conditioned, especially in America, but it's all over the world, think that we need to be in pain in order to be safe. Like we need to struggle and work, do things that are hard and be exhausted, which is really worshiping pain in order to be stable and to have security. It's the biggest bullshit illusion. It's the biggest bullshit lie. This is our play here on Earth, and Mother Earth, Gaia, can hold all of us. We don't have to live in these systems that we've created that are so painful. We don't have to work so hard. We don't have to slave anymore. And really, I think that this feminine energy that's coming online is really showing us that. Because at the fundamental level, right, if we're going to change, if the earth is changing, if the new earth is coming online, it's not happening to us, it's happening through us, right? And what does that look like? What does that mean? It means that we start to love ourselves, which also means that we no longer are willing to participate in dynamics that are toxic, burdensome, dark, painful. What does that look like? So it's a quantum leap because it takes a lot of faith to do that, but it also, when you start doing it, you start to realize how life is magical, and it's all an illusion. This idea that we need to participate in this way and sacrifice ourselves in order for this or that. So anyway, that's kind of, the transformation of the self. These changes are not happening to us. They're happening through us. That's why it's really important that we pay attention to ourselves during this time, during this era. Who are you? What are you? And what are you becoming? What are you letting go of? What's your intuition leading you towards? Where is your higher self guiding you? Are you listening to it? Are you honoring it? Are you honoring yourself? And if not, how can you change your life to do that? How? I have so many people that I talk to, and they get a reading from me or they get coaching from me, and they, they'll be like, they're at their wits' end, they're exhausted, they're depleted, they can't keep going on. And then when I ask them to start making time for themselves, they don't know how to make it. They don't know. You have to make the choice. You have to say, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to change my life. So now would be one of those moments to say, I'm going to change my life. I'm not going to keep going like this. I'm going to start making more time for myself. Because if the changes are happening through us, not to us, and those of you that are listening are most likely empaths, intuitives, wise people, wise women, wise men. And you're the ones that are actually meant to create the new earth. The sensitive beings that are attuned to these frequencies are the ones that are going to be implementing the new earth energetics. But we can't do it if we don't give ourselves time. If we don't love ourselves, be good to ourselves, treat ourselves, don't run ourselves ragged, nourish ourselves. What does that look like? These are all good questions to start to ask as we all kind of embark on this journey together of love, deeper love. Love, you can't do anything for anybody else unless you do it for yourself first, right? How do you love yourself? How do you truly love yourself? Ask yourself that. For me, when I get really deep with it, I'm on this like hardcore. It's funny because I'm on this new like cleanse detox, and I feel amazing about it. And I'm like getting really fit, and I'm like on this new health journey right now, kind of next level. But also, I mean, that's one thing, the body, the material, but then the spirit. How do you love your spirit? How do you love yourself? For me, it's about allowing myself to express what my deepest part of myself yearns to express. Your specific kind of art, your specific kind of creativity, message, the thing that you feel compelled to share. And you don't know what that is unless you get quiet and start taking time to find out who you are. I got all kinds of classes and all kinds of stuff to help you guys with that. I'm the intuition master to help you with your intuition. Remember, Isis is directly connected to intuition. That's how magic works through us, is our intuition. I'm making a workshop. I got so many things that I'm excited to do right now. I'm like, I got my creative fires are lit. All right. Anyways, those are my thoughts for this Lionsgate. It's exciting. It's wild. It's enlivening. It's beautiful. And spend some time with yourself. Spend some time to find out who you are, what you want, what your truth is, where you're being led, all of it. All right. I'm sending you guys love. Happy full moon. Woohoo! Ow!